What's up, everybody? Welcome in Bets and Ball Games. It is Wednesday around 12:30 p.m. Eastern. This is Southeastern 16. We are presented to you by FanDuel, and let's tell you about our friends at GameTime SIDEKICKS, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities, everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, and 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups. SE16 for the 20% discount. To viewers, let's also tell you about Yearly CO. Yearly Company is a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14K gold natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee, because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized. Knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where our sizing kit comes in. It's the perfect place to start, especially for husbands who want to have sizes ready now, so shopping closer to the holidays is effortless. Code SE16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. All right, what's happening, Jay?
Not much, my friend. Hope you're. It's a beautiful day in Zamunda.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful world since Sunday around one-ish.
For
Yeah.
you.
Yep. Um, yeah, we'll get to all that. We'll get to your side of things. All right, let's just get going with good, bad, and ugly. If you want to go ahead and start.
All right, my good is the last 6 weeks of Alabama football. They have displayed a complete football team that can beat you in any number of ways. They're talented on the perimeter. The pick six was paralyzing for Tennessee right before the half. And I'm going to ask you a question, bro, and I didn't bring it up in the green room because I want to shoot from the hip answer because it makes for better podcasting. Finish this sentence. Ty Simpson is the best Alabama quarterback since.
Tua Tagovailoa. You're thinking better?
I'm thinking better because I don't think he turns the football over. Ever. I can't. I'm having a hard time recall, and I'm an Auburn graduate. So this line of praise pains me. But
AJ McCarron didn't turn it over.
Well, AJ McCarron was kind of where I was going, because didn't he win 2?
Yeah, and if not for the kick 6, had a great chance to win 3, right?
Yeah, I think. And they did a smoke show. Of course, she went to Auburn.
Married. Of course she went to Auburn.
Of course she did. I mean, there's just nothing but smoke shows at Auburn. But I mean, that's where I was thinking, and because I'm over the last. Think about the run Alabama's on in terms of mental fatigue, and I don't know if he has made a bad decision in the month of October.
Yeah. By the way, McCarron's career TDI-INT ratio was 77-15. He had one season where he was 30-3. Pretty good.
But he also had a really big, ugly chest tat.
Oh, perhaps the worst chest tat. Yeah, you could call that a chat.
You could call that a chat. You couldn't hear because everybody calls Chattanooga chat up here.
Right. Yeah, no, it was the worst chat I've ever seen in my life.
Without question, the worst chat.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So my good is my man Mike Washington, the running back for the Razorbacks. So I've been betting his rushing yards prop over every week. I don't know that he had one in week 1 because I don't know if they had player props for the FCS game, Alabama A&M, but he has gone over. And Arkansas has played how many games? Let's see. They've played 7 games. So he has hit his over rushing yards prop 6 times in a row. And so whenever I have like a over under or a team total, like Missouri's team total over against the Raging Cajuns earlier this year, it cashed before halftime. I call that a rocking chair winner. Well, I had Mike Washington over 59.5 rushing yards last week, and he had 71 yards on the first drive. I don't have a name for that, but we need to create
that's
it.
a Cracker Barrel winner. I mean, that's rocking chair at the Cracker Barrel.
First drive.
With your niece.
Yeah, that's
as you're waiting for your table.
Cracker Barrel winner. All right, yeah, that's before. Yeah, all right, that'll work. Mike Washington. Now,
hey, and I will say this, and I know we'll get into him here in a minute. Among the many things I was right about in our preseason conversations, Arkansas overs are a thing, brother. I'm not saying it's Jaden Daniels guaranteed.
Not quite there. Not quite.
Well, it's because the Tennessee Arkansas over was like 76.
Yeah, and they didn't go over in the FCS game because Alabama A&M couldn't score. But yeah, no, I get you. You're right.
It's not as good as Mike Washington, but but it's in the conversation. I mean, it'd be like the man you know better is Joe the policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama, Mr. Randy Watson.
Yes.
So yeah, that boy's good. That boy's good.
That boy, Mike Washington, that boy is good. So
that boy is good.
Since Petrino's head coach, he's gone for 131 and 147. But FanDuel's tired of getting beat on that, and they have bumped it up to 79.5 this week. But 131 and 147 are much higher than 79.5. So anyway,
man, that Florida education pays dividends every single week.
Every day. Okay, I'm done. On to your bad.
My bad. Really, everything about the Texas program right now, other than the W in the win column, because they got put into a locker by Kentucky.
Right.
That was 26-8 in first downs. 26-8.
About doubled them in time of possession. About doubled them in yards almost.
No, more than doubled them in yards. Kentucky was close to 400.
But I think Texas got like 170. Here, I got it written down. It's in my notes here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. 395 to 179. You are right. More than double them in yards.
I know.
Right.
Which yet again proves Auburn education better than Florida education. And I didn't have to look into the Canterbury Tales to look up my notes. So it is what it is. And Cutter Bowley played circles around Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Who had that on the bingo card?
Right. Bowley can move. He's got deceptive speed. He's a tall. What did they list him at? He's got to be like 6'4", right?
He's like Andy Dufresne. He's a tall drink of water.
Yeah, he is. Let's see where do they list him at. They have. Oh, he's 6'5". Okay, yeah.
Well, if he was a basketball player, that'd be 6'9".
8. Yeah. 6'9". Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I concur. And Sark has no explanation for anything. Yeah. All right. My bad is going to be Tim Brando, who I love listening to call a game. If Tim Brando's on the play-by-play, especially hoops, I'm fired up for Tim Brando on the call. Also, Tom Luganbill, and a guy that I was going to remain nameless because he's such an epic D-bag. He used to work at USA Today. He got a new gig somewhere, I forget where. He's going to remain nameless. These three guys who, if they were saying things after James Franklin got fired after like a 104-45 record, I didn't hear much out of them, but not that I would listen to the former USA Today guy. But it's just it just keeps coming up on my Twitter. But these two guys, and the third guy, Luganbill and Brando, they have gone to epic steps to, or especially Brando, engaging Gators in Twitter back and forth to just explain that Ole Miss is not. It's as good a job as Florida, if not better. Kiffin's not leaving. How dare we get rid of Napier? How dare we want to be, are firing coaches in less than 4 years, even if they go 22 and 23 and it's an unmitigated disaster from start to finish. Say, how about this? How about this? When you have dipshoot ADs who make dipshoot hires, guess what? You get dipshoot prizes. All right. And you have to fire coaches. And Brando gaslighting the entire Florida fan base, while I'm sure he's enjoying some brown water in his study in his office on Sunday night. It's bad. And I don't like it. That's all.
I don't know if there's a bigger indictment against Scott Strickland than, look, man, ADs this day and age, you've got to be good at one of two things: either raising a ton of funds or hiring coaches. And I didn't know until this week that they landed Todd Golden because they hired a search firm. And they went back to that search firm.
Oh, yeah, they already hired a search firm for this one.
Absolutely.
I've never
understood your AD to make a hire without a search firm, what the hell's he doing being the AD?
I've been saying that for 20 years. Why do you have an AD if you're paying $500,000 to a search? Now, look, if you want to hire some people to vet him in the sense that, you find out if Hugh Freeze calls hookers on recruiting trips or if George O'Leary lied on his resume for a job at Syracuse, if you want to use people to do that, absolutely, because your AD didn't need to be doing the vetting to see if O'Leary lied on a resume 20 years ago or whatever. But why does the AD have a salary if he can't choose the coach? Like, what? I've been saying this for 20 years. I don't understand you spending all this money on a search firm. It's crazy. It's insane.
Well, he better go hug Todd Golden like once a week.
Oh, and all that raise should go to Todd Golden.
All right, my ugly. Everything involved with Hugh Mother Bleep Freeze. That's it. That's a sentence. That's the ugly. Because Auburn has now perfected a way to tell every previous Auburn frustration to hold my beer and watch this, because we can do it again. And now Cam Holman dropped a 70-yard touchdown pass because I truly think he was shocked the ball was in his hands. I think he had run so many go routes that he had no idea. Holy God, the ball's coming to me.
Right.
So, look, I can understand with a bye week after Arkansas. I can understand with the news of Florida a week after James Franklin. If Hugh Freeze is not fired on Sunday, athletic director John Cohen should be fired on Monday.
Yeah, I concur. So my ugly was going to be Kentucky not winning that game, but we already went through those stats. So my ugly will be Blake Shapen and Jeff Levy. You're at the 29-yard line, which is a 46-yard field goal. I forget how much time was left, like 45 seconds or somewhere in there. And something like that. And well, I don't know why you're even calling a pass play. And then if you're Shapen, how dare you throw an interception to a defensive tackle who weighs like 340, who dropped into coverage.
Dropped into zone coverage. And
yeah.
I mean, look, we get judged by results, but dropping a D tackle in that situation when they should be running the ball directly at the D tackle is defensive malpractice. It just worked.
It worked somehow.
Well, look, I think Chris Lee, in one of my earlier podcasts here on Southeastern 16, he said this perfectly. We can all say Jeff Levy's doing a hell of a job in a very difficult situation in Starkville of keeping them in every game and have them ahead of schedule. But we can also give them criticism because that's a game Mississippi State should have won. They should have walked Napier to the curb with a loss.
Yeah, they should have. No doubt about it. All right, let's check out some FanDuel odds. All right, let's talk about the Heisman. Ty Simpson, plus 320 chalk, followed by Mendoza, plus 340 at FanDuel. Then Julian Sayin, plus 400. Marcel Reed, plus 750. So when we were doing the reaction show the other day, in the middle of the show, Pavia, who we were saying that we were pretty sure he was 55 to 1 when we were doing this pod last week, so on Wednesday afternoon. And by the end of the game against LSU, he was 22 to 1. And then during the show, I mentioned that he had just gone to 20 to 1. Well, I saw he was 12 to 1 either yesterday or the day before, and now he is 8 to 1. And he did strike a Heisman pose after he did one of those rushing touchdowns last week. And he could have had another rushing touchdown to pad his stats, but he wanted to get in victory formation. All right, Gunnar Stockton, 11 to 1. And I'm going to start skipping the non-SEC guys. I'll mention Carson Beck because he's formerly SEC, 55 to 1. Oh, Haynes King is down to 55 to 1. He's been 30 to 1. I've got a 90 to 1. Dude keeps winning ball games. Chambliss, 75 to 1. And it might be a minute for another SEC player. Aguilar, 200 to 1. Prabula, 250 to 1. And that is it. I'm sorry. Nuss is 300 to 1. Let's go. Odds to win the SEC championship game, and it's Alabama plus 125, A&M plus 360, Georgia plus 470, Texas 11 to 1, Ole Miss 17 to 1, Oklahoma 19 to 1, Vandy and Mizzou 20 to 1. I think Vandy was 45 or 50 or maybe 55 last week. I think Missouri was 25 or 30 last week. Tennessee, Florida, and LSU are 100 to 1, and that's it. Everybody else is off the board. All right, to win the Natty, Ohio State plus 270 favorite, Bama plus 650. I'm just going to skip around to SEC teams. A&M 10 to 1, Georgia 11 to 1. Ole Miss 27 to 1, Texas also 27 to 1, Oklahoma 30, Vandy 33, along with Missouri, Tennessee 60 to 1, LSU 125 to 1, and Mississippi State 1,000 to 1. Any of those future numbers sound fancy to you?
Of them, and right now you're just trying to look for odds. The one that when you read through it that sounded the best to me was potentially Gunnar Stockton at 11 to 1.
Mm-hmm. That's a good call there. I think I'd probably agree with that. He keeps impressing me every week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's having a hell of a year for a first-year starter. No doubt. At a time when Georgia doesn't have nearly the defenses that Stetson Bennett was fortunate enough to have, and maybe not really the weapons around him either. Yeah, I think we say that as well, or at least you're not on that level. All right, let's jump into some ball games, and we start with Ole Miss at Oklahoma, noon Eastern on ABC. Ole Miss 6-1 straight up, 4-3 against the spread. They're 3-1 in the SEC. They've played 2 road games, 1-1 straight up, 0-2 against the spread. And I should mention the spread because FanDuel has Oklahoma minus 5.5, minus 106 price, OU minus 198 on the money line, and Ole Miss plus 166 on the money line. The total is 54.5 in the first quarter. Oklahoma is minus 1.5 plus 102. If you like the Rebs, it's minus 128 to get the plus 1.5 in the first quarter. In the first half, Oklahoma minus 2, minus 118. And there you have it. Also, Road Dog under Kiffin, Ole Miss, not very good.
No.
2-6 against the spread. The over for the year is 4-3 overall for Ole Miss, and it's 2-0 in their road games. OU 6-1 straight up, 3-3-1 ATS, 2-1 in the SEC. They are undefeated in 4 home games, but only 1-2-1 ATS is a home favorite under Venables. They are 13-7 against the spread, and the under is a perfect 7-0 for the Sooners this year.
A couple things. One, I'm hoping Mateer's healthy, as is every Oklahoma fan everywhere. But two, I'm starting to wonder if the book is out a little bit on Trinidad Chambliss on what he can and cannot do effectively.
Right.
And look, Kiffin's very good at this. I'm not doubting that. But I really like Oklahoma here in this spot. They're at home, even in a noon kick. It is, man, this is a tough back-to-back trip for Ole Miss, going to Athens, now going to Norman. It is a place that I don't know how battle-tested Ole Miss is. I mean, the LSU win is aging like Indian food in a dirty diaper. So Oklahoma's defense is relentless. They thrive off creating pressure with just 4. Brent Venables is completely comfortable to sit back in zone, which is going to force you to do 9, 10, 11 play drives, which is not Kiffin's MO. I think there's a reason this line has grown from 4 at the beginning of the week to 5.5. I could see it being closer to 7 by the time this thing kicks off. And I think Oklahoma handles their business.
I have no play on this game. I just have Oklahoma to win outright for Florida Gator coaching search purposes. Boomer Sooner. All right. Let's move on to Auburn at Arkansas. And this is 12:45 p.m. Eastern on the SEC network. And our friends at FanDuel have Arkansas favored by 1.5. They're minus 116 on the money line. So if you like Arkansas, I would just go minus 116 money line. The total is 56.5. And let me check on that. They do have the rushing yards props up for others besides Mike Washington. That's a good thing. Oh, wait. No, they don't. They have other props up for Talon Green. But no need to go through the first half and first quarter with a 1.5 point spread. I'm sure it's just -1 or -0.5 for both. Auburn 3-4 straight up, 2-4-1 ATS. They're 0-4 in the SEC. In this rivalry, they're 7-3 straight up, 6-4 ATS in the last 10. The unders on a 6-0 run for Auburn to improve to 6-1. Overall, Arkansas 2-5 straight up, 3-4 ATS, 0-3 in the SEC, but they've covered both games with Petrino. The over 5-2 overall, but as Jay noted, the under hit in a 65 combined points game against Tennessee. The over's 3-1 for Arkansas at home. Arkansas -5 in turnover margin. Your thoughts here, Jay?
I think it's quite telling about the state of Auburn football that they are now an underdog to Arkansas, which is a team that has already fired its coach.
And has lost 5 in a row.
And including one to Missouri. Or, I'm sorry, Memphis. Yes. Look, there's no way I can endorse any play but playing Arkansas because of Auburn's propensity to just find ways to lose. So, I mean, yes, Auburn's defense is going to be probably the best one Arkansas has seen. But Auburn's offense is going to be the worst one Arkansas's defense has seen.
Yeah,
that over-under is puzzling, right?
Yeah, no, well, I think it's actually, I mean, well, hold on. Like,
no, I lean over. I completely lean over.
I do too. I mean, I think Auburn's offense is going to finally get going here, and oh, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you the combined scores on Auburn's games since the Baylor game, which that one was 62. But since then, it's been 45 combined, 46 combined, 41, 26, 30, and 40, but only 34 in regulation. So, but I mean, Arkansas are just through the flipping roof. I think it's a pretty good number, and I do lean over. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I just look, man. When your defense is as good as Auburn's is and has become unbelievably efficient at collapsing the pocket, what's the one thing that scares you?
Scrambling.
A guy like Taylor Green. So I will be on Arkansas laying the 1.5.
As will I. And by the way, Arkansas out-yarded Tennessee, and they out-yarded A&M 527 to 497 last week. Why did they lose? Well, A&M went 3 for 3 on fourth down, and Arkansas went 1 for 2. Now, Arkansas did play turnover-free football, which was huge. And one thing you didn't mention, it's a pretty big deal that Connor Lew tore his ACL, right? On an O-line that's already struggling. He started 25 career starts. I would imagine 25 in a row if I'm not – I don't know that. And then he was preseason third-team All-SEC in Phil Steele's mag. But the two guys ahead of him were preseason first-team and second-team All-American, and Jake Slaughter and however you pronounce the Alabama center, Parker Brailsford or something to that effect.
And the guy they're replacing him with is the youngest player in college football.
Okay. Oh, okay. Another reason to like. Well, no, actually, that never mind. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, so Auburn's defense, you brought them up. Number 9 in the country in run defense, number 30 in total defense, number 23 in scoring D, 17.9 points per game. But that's with limited help from the offense.
None.
So, right. Yeah, especially in the SEC games, basically no help from the offense.
So you're on the field for 36 plus minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of that damage is coming in the second half. I mean, I know Arkansas is the play for me, and this will be one of my plays. Yeah. And who we rattling to next? Because I'm going to need you to read the numbers because I had to plug my computer in.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So Arkansas is a play for me. Mike Washington rushing yards over 79.5. And Taylor Green's he's usually in the upper 50s, but he had one sack that was like 25-yard sack last week, and he still flew over his total. I don't know how many times he got sacked, but if Taylor Green is 65 or fewer, his rushing yards prop over as well. But Arkansas, those two props are official plays for me, and I might play 50. I would want 56 because that's a key number, multiple of 7. I might play the over, but that would be for much smaller. All right, let's go to Bama at South Carolina, and this one is at 3:30 on ABC. And our friends at FanDuel have Alabama favored by 12.5. South Carolina's plus 385 on the money line. The total is 47.5. The first quarter spread is Alabama minus 3.5 plus 106. First half, Alabama minus 6.5 minus 128. And all those numbers are obviously from our friends at FanDuel. Bama 6-1 straight up, 5-1-1 ATS. They have won 6 in a row, going 5-0-1 against the spread. As a road favorite under DeBoer, they are only 2-4-1 ATS. The under is on a 4-0 run for Bama. It's 2-1 in its road games this year, but Bama saw 3 overs to start the year, so The under is only 4-3 overall. Back in August, the games of the year spread on this game was Bama minus 7.5, so it's gone up 5 points. In the last 4 head-to-head meetings, Bama's 3-1 straight up, but 0-4 against the spread. And the only loss came when and to whom? Bama-South Carolina rivalry.
Oh, that was Spurrier in the
Stephen Garcia day.
That Stephen Garcia has not had to buy a drink in Columbia since.
He turned into Joe Montana for 3.5 hours one day. He was absolutely spectacular that game. So was Marcus Lattimore, Melvin Ingram, and Stephon Gilmore. It was a pimp slap. And by the way, Spurrier went 3-1 straight up, 4-0 against the spread against Nicky Sabes. South Carolina struggling. As a home dog, they are 6-6 against the spread under Beamer. The under's not struggling, 5-2 overall, 3-1 in their home games. I'll go first. Bama minus 6.5 in the first half. I'm not against it for the game, but I prefer it in the first half.
I can see that logic of preferring the first half because I really see after just a brutal trek through an SEC grind that has included trips to Athens, trips to Como, revenge game against Vandy, rivalry game against Tennessee. I can see Alabama being a little weary in this one, but there's no possible way I can endorse anybody putting any type of coin on a Mike Shula called offense that he's turned Lenora Sellers into TJ bleeping Finley, man. I mean, this is bad.
Yeah, and look, and Sellers is doing a good job of avoiding the first pass rush from Oklahoma. He would run around and he'd buy himself a little, but they just keep coming. And at some point, he would go down. I mean, he would avoid the first surge, but yeah, he had no chance.
In games that South Carolina has found ways to succeed and pull away, they have really been reliant on forcing turnovers or special teams, big plays. Ty Simpson's not going to turn it over. I mean, he's got an 18-1 TD to interception ratio. So you're going to have to drive the football against Alabama, and Mike Shula can't do that. This South Carolina team can't do that. I mean, I respect that over-under being under 49 here. I think this is a grounded-out utilitarian game. And this was honestly, when we were talking about in the summer, Brian, this was one of the games that we all kind of circled about. South Carolina went there and scared the living dickens out of them in Tuscaloosa last year. Could this be the springboard game for a back half run again for South Carolina to get the playoffs? Hell, man, I'm wondering if Beamer's looking up and seeing the writing on the wall down the road and saying, hey, should I hit the reset button and go to Blacksburg and be Beamer 2.0?
Who's got a better offense or worse offense, however you want to? Kentucky or South Carolina? I think South Carolina's is worse.
South Carolina's is worse because of the talent they're wasting. They've got a guy that a lot of people said would be QB1 round one. And
he's getting Mike Shula.
He's getting Mike Shula. Maybe this was some huge conspiracy, Brian, that Mike Shula took this job for this very game to make certain he would sandbag it for his alma mater.
and simultaneously help Vatek get Shane Beamer back as well.
And then he's doing it. He's got a little Petrino in him saying, hey, maybe they'll give me the interim and I can get it.
Shula, you're not getting the interim. You're not. You may have SEC coaching experience, but you're not going to be the interim after this performance.
Did you see that there were like 100 folks show up to a Fire Mike Shula protest?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say how many empty seats were in the stands in the fourth quarter because I saw a picture of that. And it said like year 4, Shane Beamer, 4th quarter, nobody cares. And I was like, ooh, ouch. All right, let's get to a topic in a game we enjoy a little more than Mike Shula. That would be Diego Pavia and the Commodores, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, hosting Missouri. I think you can accurately call it back-to-back weeks, the biggest games in program history. Everything still in play. SEC championship game for the first time in program history, and a CFP berth as well. FanDuel has Vandy minus 2.5 at a minus 115 price. They are minus 138 on the money line. Mizzou is plus 115 on the comeback. The total is 52.5. Rushing yards props, 28.5 for Prabula, 86.5 for Hardy, 58.5 for Diego, 40.5 for Cedric Alexander. He did go over 40.5 last week, but he got 45, and I had him at 47.5. Unfortunately, your thoughts?
I think this is a play-in game for both programs. They already have one loss. This is to stay alive in the conversation. Now, look, you could lose this game and get to 10-2, and I think every SEC team that finishes 10-2 will be in the playoff debate. But if you lose this game, and we have a few of these this week, Ole Miss, Oklahoma's this way too.
Yep.
You are now playing a team that has a very similar resume. And if you lose, even with the collection of knuckleheads in Grapevine, Texas, who are going to sit in there and try to tell us how their 12 is right when we all know their 12 is crooked. If you lose games like this, especially at home, you're going to then have 10-2. Your 10-2 is not going to be as good as Missouri's 10-2. I mean, or whoever wins this game, you're now chasing ghosts, and you're now going to need help. So this is yes, 100% right, Brian, that this is back to back. And look, man, just about every lily pad, Diego Pavia, Clark Lee, and this Vanderbilt program step on moving forward as they try to cross the lake into college football playoff nirvana. Every step they take is going to be the biggest game in program history, or at least in our lifetime. So I get why game day's there. And all the blowback about game day being there, everybody just shut up.
Who's giving blowback?
Well, a bunch of people on there saying it's SEC bias and whatever else. I mean, there were even some people saying it should have been like South Dakota State, North Dakota State. Who gives two rips, man? I mean, truly.
Right.
I mean, because here's the converse of that. South Dakota State, North Dakota State, y'all both could lose 100-0 in this game, and you're going to get in the playoff, in your playoff. The loser of this can't say that. So we're almost a full week before Halloween, and this is a borderline elimination game. This is what the playoff committee wanted at 12, and they're actually getting it, much to my dismay. This is if it's not a quarterfinal game, this game, they should play this game in Dayton. This is a round of 68 game. This is a play-in game to have a chance to get in the dance.
Yep. Did you have a play?
Man, you know Rule 2.
I know, but that doesn't mean that just means you can't bet against him. It doesn't mean you have to bet on him. Are you betting on him?
I think Clark Lee's done more than Eli Drinkwitz this year. I think Vanderbilt's more complete, and they got the best player on the field.
All that is true. and I concur. I'm all over Vanderbilt in this game. And I will be. What did I say? Pavia's rushing yards prop was 58, or give me that over as well. But more on Vandy. And I did us all a favor. We love Diego on this show. It's his world. We're just living in it. I looked up his career stats. 8,285 career passing yards with a 74-23 TDINT ratio, 2,674 rushing yards, and 25 rushing touchdowns. And Missouri's playing in a back-to-back road spot, and that was their first road game of the year last year. So back-to-back Fridays on the airplane. Love Vandy. Favorite play of the week, although I'm very fond of Arkansas as well. Okay, let's move on to Texas at Mississippi State, and this is it is a 4:15 p.m. Eastern game on the SEC network, and FanDuel has Texas -6.5 at a -124 price. Mississippi State +215 money line. Total 44.5. And in the first quarter, the Longhorns are -1.5, but +110 return. First half, Texas is -3.5 at a -105 price. And Texas on the road this year, 1-2 straight up, 0-3 against the spread. Texas has to win to stay alive for the CFP. They lose, they are done. They're 7-9 against the spread as a road fave under Sark. Mississippi State, 12-3 against the spread in its last 15 games. At home this year, they're 3-1 straight up, 4-0 against the spread as a home dog. Under Levy, they are 3-3 against the spread with one outright win. Michael Taft they didn't say he's definitively out. We'll know on the availability report, I guess, but he had thumb surgery yesterday. 51 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception. What you thinking on this one?
I like just about every play you can make on Mississippi State. I will be on Mississippi State with the points. I'd like it. I'd feel, and you probably could buy it up depending on what shop you're in to get it to the even 7.
It's 7 at most books.
I think Mississippi State comes in salty. I think Texas comes in uncertain. Look, man, you found a way to win, and you deserve your flowers for that in every road game in this league. But you went to Lexington and got pushed around. And now you're about to face a team that's more physical in a place that's tougher to play. And Texas has not shown the guts to give confidence to anything about being in a road spot. Texas has played one good football game. They had a good 60 minutes in Red River, and the rest of it has been craptastic.
And Arch was missing wide open guys. Now he didn't have much protection again last week, but he on the plays he did. I mean, I saw him miss multiple it's like easy throws, and it's like, whoa, bro, what? He's not brimming with confidence right now.
No, and look, whether it's because his name's Manning and Sarkisian doesn't want to lose him in the portal, but at some point in time, they're still in playoff consideration. I mean, we've heard whispers that Auburn may be looking at making quarterback changes too. If you're getting this poor production at the most important position on the field, you've got to be looking for different options. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how do you expect – what would this line be if Shaped hadn't thrown the ball to a fatty defensive tackle?
3.5.
And they're coming off a win over Florida.
4, 3.5, 4 probably.
And now they may even be more motivated because Ole Miss has got to start clicking off wins too to get to bowl eligibility.
I don't even know who their number 2 is. They've got a redshirt freshman, Trey Owens, 6'5", 225. They've got Matthew Caldwell, who started 6 games at Troy last year, and they've got a true freshman in KJ Lacey. So I don't even know who their backup is. I lean Mississippi State. The only thing that concerns me is that Blake Shapen is not playing very good here lately. Only a 2-3 TDI-NT ratio in the last 3 games, and he's 15th in the SEC in QBR, ahead of only DJ Lagway. But I still lean Mississippi State.
They're both ahead of Jackson Arnold, dude.
Not in QBR.
One school's got like 2 teams. I think Ole Miss has got 2 guys with enough passes to qualify.
Well, the one thing about Jackson Arnold, he's only thrown 1 interception.
Yeah, but his average yards attempt are like negative 6.4.
Oh, by the way, I saw Cam Coleman had 10 targets last week. That's better. That's good. But
Jackson Arnold played better.
Yeah, but remember that day 2 weeks ago, I said if Dallas Wilson has 12 to 15 targets, Florida wins at A&M, and if Cam Coleman has 12 to 15 targets, Auburn beats Georgia. They're still not getting into the 12-15 range. They need 12 to 15 targets. And
did you see what Flacco did last Thursday night?
He decided, hey, why don't I just throw the ball to Jamar Chase? Oh, here comes the blitz. How about this? 3 drops, throw it to Jamar Chase. I mean,
what did he throw? What did Jamar Chase have? Like 23 targets and 16 catches?
I think he did have 23 targets. Didn't I read that? Yeah, I think I read.
Look, I'm normally full of crap, but this is hyperbole.
Not hyperbole.
It's 23. And I think he had like 33 targets to Higgins and Chase.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with this formula. Yes. I like 12 to 15 targets is not too many.
Well, and you know what? I feel like Hugh Freeze is Norman Dale in the huddle, looking at his group of guys in the state championship against the Mighty Bears of South Bend Central and saying, we're going to run the picket fence at them. And everybody kind of goes, oh, Christ. And Chitwood goes, I'll make it. And he goes, all right, get the ball to Jimmy. Get the ball to Jimmy.
All righty. So Jay likes Mississippi State. I lean Mississippi State. Lean. Haven't played it yet. We shall see. All righty. Let's go to A&M at LSU. And we'll start it off with a little trivia for Jay. When was the last time A&M tasted victory in Red Stick?
Johnny Football.
No, since coming into the SEC, A&M is 0-6 straight up, 0-5-1 against the spread specifically at LSU. And A&M has not tasted victory there since 94, but I have no idea how many times they played there from 80 to 2011. Probably not very many. But, yeah, so this game is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. It is an elimination game for the Bayou Bengals, and currently FanDuel has A&M minus 2.5 at a minus 120 price, minus 144 for the Aggies to win outright, plus 120 money line for LSU. The total is 47.5, and LSU at home under Brian Kelly, 23-2 straight up, 16-8-1 against the spread as a home dog, 3-1 both straight up and against the spread. They're 4-0 straight up at home this year, 2-2 ATS. All right, A&M 7-0 straight up overall, 3-4 ATS, 4-0 in the SEC. But as a road favorite under Elko, they're only 1-4 against the spread. Did not cover last week on the road of any sort. Elko 4-2 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. But A&M's last 17 on the road, whether dog or favorite, 4-12-1 against the spread. The home team has won this game in this rivalry 8 games in a row. 6 of the wins by 12 or more, and the over is hit in 4 straight in this series. Your thoughts?
Hard pass.
I agree.
I mean, there's no way. Hey, every metric you just trotted out there, and playing at night in Red Stick is a thing. But there's no way in hell I'm trusting Brian Kelly. I mean, I'm not putting my money in. I'd rather put my money in Enron than put it behind Brian Kelly.
I actually do have a play. I just found something that I like. So if I had to pick it, like I have to pick it in my contest, it's 25 specified games. I think I'm going to pick LSU, actually. Now, it might not be smart, and I'm not advising anyone to go bet that, but I have to pick it in this contest, and I think that's what I'm going to do. But I do have a play because I actually played this exact play at the last second, both of A&M's last 2 games, and I can't believe that Marcel Reed's rushing yards prop is only 31.5. It was 29.5 the last 2 weeks, and I bet it over. He had 55 last week. He had 37 against the Gators. He had 30 before that. He had a game earlier this year, 66, and he also had 39 and 37. So he's gone over 31.5, 5 times out of 7, and he missed it by 1.5 on one of those. So I'll go Marcel Reed over 31.5.
I like that play a lot because watching some film on both of these teams, LSU struggled with the motion and the jet sweep action that Vandy presented. It allowed quarterback power, and A&M had great success against Arkansas. Now, the LSU defense is better than Arkansas's, but A&M's got more athletes than Vandy does. So if LSU, and we don't know, we're taping this Wednesday around lunch Eastern time, we don't know how healthy Weeks is going to be, but if they play that jet sweep, eye candy motion in the run game the same way, A&M's going to gash them. And this is, yes, playing at night in Red Stick is a thing, but that fan base is uneasy. And let A&M start fast, that place is going to turn on Brian Kelly.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. Marcel Reed over 31.5. We both like that. Okay, let's go to Kroger Field, Lexington, Kentucky. You know, they might be looking for a new sponsor that pays more than Kroger here soon to handle Mark's buyout. We're talking 7:45 p.m. Eastern on the SEC network. Tennessee is 7.5 at FanDuel. Kentucky plus 245 money line. The total is 53.5, and the first quarter line is Vols minus 2.5, minus 12 either way. First half, Vols minus 4.5. Yeah, I'm interested in some rushing yards props for this game, and Deshaun Bishop is 70.5, and I think I like that over. What do you think on this game while I look up Deshaun Bishop's rushing yards numbers here recently?
I would lean towards early plays. I think Tennessee starts amazingly well, and they've done that consistently. I think there's a whole lot of motivation here. I'm real curious to see. This would be a spot that Brian Edwards is going to make some money with some in-game plays, because this could be a game that Tennessee runs away with. But if Tennessee starts a little sluggish, you and I both know Kentucky loves making a game like this ugly and standing there going and try to get a puncher's chance at this thing. It's also a little puzzling, Brian. This line's moved a lot more than a lot of lines in the week.
Yeah, wasn't it 9.5?
Yeah. Early Monday, even.
Yeah. No, It might have. I don't even know when the line movement happened, but I'm going to look it up right now. By the way, Deshaun Bishop last 3 games, 123, 146, and 72. So yeah, I'm on that over 70 and 1/2. All right, where is this game on the board? Okay, sweet, here it is. So actually, wow, I see 2 books are even 9. So look, FanDuel's where you want to be if you like the Vols, big time, because this line is still 8.5, 9 at a lot of other places. Let's see when FanDuel made this move. I bet it was today. It was this morning. Actually 11:59. It was just 29 minutes ago. That this line moved from 8.5. So you can get a lot more points on Kentucky at other places, but if you're betting Tennessee, you want to bet it with our friends at FanDuel. Only play for me is Deshaun Bishop. And you what'd you say, first half and first quarter, if anything? Or
if anything. And
okay.
and I would take Tennessee. Look, they're gonna have a lion's share of a fair number of Tennessee fans there. The Tennessee Army travels, but this one, man, the thing that makes me like Tennessee to start quickly, 2 things. One, Josh Heupel is great with his opening scripts, and 2, there's a whole lot of butt hurt for a whole lot of folks in Orange because it was not as drastic as the way Kentucky dominated the football game against Texas, but Tennessee had more first downs, more yards, was even in the turnover battle, and they found a way to lose by 17 against their arch rival in a win and all but check your spot in the playoff game.
Yep. All right. So a few numbers I will mention that although Stoops is only 14-16 against the spread as a home dog at Kentucky, he's 9-3 ATS in his last 12 such spots. But Heupel versus Stoops, Vols 4-0 and 3-1 against the spread, and Vols have won 8 of the last 10 in the rivalry, 7-3 ATS. The under 3-1 at home for Kentucky. The over 5-2 overall for the Vols. Okay. Let's talk about ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting, SEC 25 for 25% off, and HOVI Drive Goods. Your new favorite hat, look no further than HOVI hats for high quality head wear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad beat for 15% off. Other picks, non-SEC related. What do you have, Jay? Do you have anything yet?
I think Cincinnati handles Baylor with a short number. I think Cincinnati is pretty salty.
Brendan Sorsby, my guy. He's awesome.
Trying to think what else I got. Boise State, Nevada, over 50. I would probably, if you're looking for a weeknight play, you and I are both believers in Justin Wilcox. I think Cal is better than Virginia Tech.
And they're an underdog. And Justin Wilcox as an underdog is fantastic. And what are they getting? 5.5 at last look, I think.
That sounds right, Brian.
All right, Justin Wilcox as a road underdog. He is, let's see. All right, was 19-11 coming into the year, 20-11, 21-11, 21-11 against the spread as a road dog under Justin Wilcox.
And you're getting more than that magical 3. FanDuel has it at 4.5 currently, and that's a Friday night kick. But I will be on Cal. A whole lot of games that feel puzzling this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we don't have injury reports yet, and there's a lot of injuries out there as well. But I'll give you. I'm a heavy lean to Pitt -6.5, but they've got some injuries that I want to see that injury report. ACC doesn't come out till Thursday, unlike SEC and most other conferences on which is Wednesday. But or a Pitt Iowa. Iowa's like 8-ish at home to Minnesota. I would like Pitt and Iowa in a teaser or money line parlay in the NFL. Oh, and I got one. Miami of Ohio, not the Red Hawks, the Spread Hawks, -1.5 to Western Michigan. And I like the Eagles and the Patriots in a teaser or money line parlay, although I'm a little worried about the Giants because they are nasty. But Dart messed up his ankle last week, and today is the first day of practice. I want to know if he was limited or if he was full go today. That might make me hesitate on the Eagles, although they do have revenge, and it's back-to-back road assignments for the Giants. But, man, the Giants look really good for 3 quarters last week. And if Neighbors had not gotten hurt, that Giants fan base has a lot to be excited about with Scattaboo and Dart and Neighbors and their defensive front. If I can get a clean 3 on Denver, I might do that at home against the Dak. But Dak is playing good. It's early in the week. There's a lot of injuries and stuff.
Well, and you got to keep a hard eye on if Lamar Jackson even comes back to practice, because if you can get the Bears.
I love the Bears at 6.5, but it's going to move by 6 or 7 points if Lamar practices. We're on the same page there.
I also like the 49ers because Kyle Shanahan is coaching his headset off, and the Texans are flawed, and
they're on short week.
Out.
Yeah, Collins the concussion, and it's a short week for the Texans. And with a short week, I think Collins probably will be out.
So
I
there are a handful of NFL games that I'm bullish on, because you already said the Patriots, but I like the Patriots, especially if you can get that under a touchdown. I know Cleveland's salty, but Vrabel knows what the bleep he's doing, and Drake May's playing his headset off.
Yeah, and but I will say Judkins, he missed all training camp, and that dude is good. The former Ole Miss running back and Ohio State. Yeah, no doubt. All right, baseball. Was the World Series last night?
No, starts Friday, game 1.
Do I need to be betting Dodgers money line every game? Or run line. I'm sorry, run line, like -1.5.
I'll probably start with the home team, and no, I won't, because Blake Snell's pitching, and dude has been like, if Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson had a child, that's who Blake Snell's been so far in this postseason. It's been untouchable. I like Freddie Freeman at 10-1 to be World Series MVP again.
I heard that. Somebody said that on VSiN yesterday. I heard that. I might throw something on that.
I would probably bet Dodgers under 5.5 games. You can get that close to even money to win the series, because they're like -200 to win it right now. So
wait, that's it for the series?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's an expensive price, but I don't know anything about baseball anymore. Never mind. I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
No, it seems like an inexpensive price. I mean, aren't they expected to sweep, perhaps?
Potentially. But that's one of the reasons why I like look, when your first 4 are Snell, Yoshimoto, Tyler Glasnow, and then Shohei Ohtani. And, dude, what he did last Friday night may have been the single greatest professional team sports performance I've ever seen. 6 shutout innings, 10 Ks, and he hit 3 homers.
It won't matter to our listeners because this won't be up till Thursday, but the Hawks open tonight.
I would probably take the Raptors tonight and the points.
All right. All right. I think our Hawks are going to be pretty good, maybe. I say that with much caution in my voice.
You're never going to, hey, I'm going to say this now, and you and I can disagree about it forever. The Hawks will never be.
As long as Trae Young is the number one option, we will never be a top-tier team. Yes. I knew what you were going to say.
So
all
it's
right.
not the first time I've shared that opinion with you.
This is certainly not. Certainly not. All right. Good luck with your bets, everybody. Be safe out there. For Jay Greeson, I'm Brian Edwards. This is Southeastern 16. We'll talk to you next week.